Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Toby's Talk Show, and today we are back talking about the Knicks, the Celtics, the Heat, basically the East playoff picture. And because there were two big games today on ESPN. First, Happy Mother's Day to any of the moms watching. I'm sure there are zero moms watching, but you know, if you guys are kids, thank your moms for everything they've done for you. And yeah, let's get right into it. We had the first game on ESPN was the Celtics versus the Heat, and this was a big game because the Celtics are just below the Heat in the Eastern Conference. They are, I believe, before that game, 2 games back. Um, or sorry, they were 1 game back at the time, so they could have tied the Heat for sixth in the East. And obviously, as you guys know, with the play-in this year, you do not want to be seventh because then you're gonna have to fight for your spot. And so yeah, this was a big game for both teams, and they play again Tuesday. But this was the first game of their, I guess not, it's not a doubleheader, but the first of 2 games they're about to play. And as you guys know, I'm sure the Heat did win. It was a weird game because the Celtics were just horrible in the first half. They let the Heat score, I believe, 79 points. Yes, they did. And they only had 53, but then they started cutting it. But it was kind of garbage time. Like the game was, you know, the score seems closer than the game was kind of the whole time. It's bad for the Celtics because you just think that they would have such a better season than they are. They're 35 and 33. And obviously, we'll never know what will happen if there were 10 more games in the season. Maybe they could have a nice win streak, but at the same time, it seems like they wouldn't because they just really can't find it. They're always having different players out. And you got to have that chemistry. You got to, obviously have your star players like Jaylen Brown playing. And, that's the big issue for the Heat. I meant for the Celtics, sorry. Yeah, so we could look. I don't really want to talk about the stats today for each game. I just kind of want to talk about, the game, most likely what this means. So I mean, for the Celtics, this is not good, especially because, everyone knows, the Knicks just beat the Celtics. Geez, the Knicks just beat the Clippers. That was the second game, and that is huge for the Knicks. And as you guys know, I am a Knicks fan, so I am ecstatic. But that is a huge, huge game for the Knicks as that pushes them to 3 games ahead of the Celtics, who lost today. So for the Knicks, as a Knicks fan, I did want the Celtics to win this game, but obviously with the Knicks winning, I'm very pleased with what's happening. The Knicks are now 1 game ahead of the Hawks and Heat, and 3 games ahead of the 7th seed Celtics. So it seems like with 1 or 2 more wins, the Knicks will clinch themselves the top 6 seed and not have to be in the play-in. But yeah, this is just absolutely amazing what the Knicks are doing this year. They just continue to impress every single day. It's just a different player, a different story, a different type of effort that this team puts in, and they just continue to amaze me and obviously the rest of the world. For the Hawks, it's not that big of a deal for them. They still have to win games, have to win at least a few of their I think they have 5 games left. But yeah, I mean, big game for the Heat and big game for the Knicks today. Big wins, I should say. And it was just a really impressive performance by these Knicks. We could quickly talk about the game because I did talk about the Celtics Heat game quickly. Kawhi and Paul George and the Clippers, they started off hot. I think they were up 10-0. And the Knicks from that point really just kind of shut the Clippers down on defense. The effort just and energy and just movement of the defense got so much better the rest of the game, and kind of really put Kawhi and Paul George in the sand. So yeah, I mean, Paul George, Kawhi had really rough nights shooting the ball. Bullock was amazing for the Knicks. Rose was just the MVP. Give him the game ball, 25, 6, and 8. Randall had one of his worst games of the year, but had 2 clutch daggers. So can't really complain. And yeah, just a really great game for the Knicks. And it seems like the Knicks are going to be a playoff team for the first time in 8 years. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's amazing. I can't be any happier right now. And for the Celtics, this is getting bad because the Hornets aren't an easy matchup, and they're going to be fully healthy, it seems, or mostly healthy for the playing game. And so if they drop to the 8th seed, I don't think they're going to beat the Sixers either way, or the Nets. Honestly, it seems like they're going to be a first round out. But they might not even make it to the first round. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the East is going to shape up. Still, 4 or 5 games each for each team, or 4 or 5 games for each team left. So a lot of games. Even though it's a little amount, it will make a big difference down the road. It could, the standings can shape up. The Celtics could even drop to the Celtics could even drop to the 8th seed, which is not good. But yeah, we'll see. East is starting to shape up. But like I said, there could be a lot of movement. So I'll be back talking about the East very soon. But right now, Knicks looking good. Heat look like they're about to secure a playoff spot. And Celtics look like they might not even make the playoffs. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. Have a good one. Have a great rest of your Mother's Day. Bye, guys.